U.S. and Iranian negotiators are closing in this morning on a preliminary peace deal to extend the ceasefire for 60 days, enter into detailed negotiations on Iran's nuclear program, and open the Strait of Hormuz, lifting shipping blockades that have sent gas prices soaring. A senior Arab official directly involved in the talks tells NBC News negotiators agreed to the outline of a deal 4 days ago, but have been awaiting final approval from Iran's top leaders and President Trump. Vice President Vance confirmed the agreement is nearly ready, but says he doesn't know when or if the president will sign, with some discrepancies on key questions remaining.
We're going back and forth on a couple of language points. There are a couple of issues on the nuclear stuff, the highly enriched stockpile, and also the question of enrichment.
But it all remains very fragile, with Iran and the U.S. exchanging fire twice this week, nearly ending the deal. And a key U.S. partner in the region, Israel, is expressing doubt on the agreement, officials saying it doesn't limit Iran's missile program. And other ceasefires President Trump helped to negotiate are not holding. Not in Lebanon and not in Gaza. Israeli forces occupy about 50% of the Gaza Strip to pen in Hamas. Prime Minister Netanyahu now says Israel plans to occupy even more of the territory, which was never part of the peace deal. We were at 50%, he said. We moved to 60%. My directive is to move step by step, first of all, to 70%. Let's start with that. It's not an encouraging sign for a new Middle East ceasefire, even if it is finalized. And in Lebanon, the Israeli military today issued new evacuation orders for Lebanese civilians, telling them to leave certain parts of the country for their own safety. Evacuation orders now apply to nearly 20% of the country, Laura.
And Richard, as all this is happening, there's also tensions flaring in a different war, the Russia-Ukraine war, with a NATO country now being hit overnight. What more can you tell us about that?
This was a surprise attack. It shocked many NATO countries. Russia launched a drone attack at an apartment building in Romania, which does not border Russia, is a NATO member. Romania scrambled jets. NATO condemned it. It seems that Vladimir Putin is trying to test NATO's resolve after President Trump has repeatedly questioned and criticized the alliance for not doing more to support his war in Iran. Laura?
Richard Engel, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.